day today. Today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday morning to you. I hope that your morning is starting out well. If it is not, my hope and prayer is that by the end of the video, you'll feel a little more at peace, a little more at joy, maybe some new ideas for food, and maybe a little skip in your step to get your day going. So today, Tuesday, I usually do my running on Tuesday, so we don't usually have too much of a video on Tuesday, but this week's different because it is the week between Christmas and New Year's. So I was like thinking, yesterday I did all my deep cleaning, got decorations down. We've got a few up. I still have to decorate. I'm gonna save that for another day. I woke up and I was like, oh, the house is so clean because it's so empty. So I can see the minimalist, the people that have like nothing in their home, how clean their house is. It's probably like never have to clean anything. So if you deal with messy house and feel like it's dirty, get rid of stuff. That's the key. But if you don't mind cleaning, add a few things and just clean in there. So today I was like, what should I film today? Because we're home, but I don't want to spend my whole day filming because it's beautiful again today, thank goodness. So I'm gonna take the kids out to the park again. We went yesterday and it was so nice just to get outside and fresh air. It's been a long time. So I thought I'll do food. I'll do food because food you have to eat, right? Everybody has to eat. And so I was thinking about it. We're done. We ate all of our little leftovers up pretty much yesterday and last night. We made little pizza rolls and we had one box of macaroni and cheese, but that macaroni and cheese, like it like I was like, I had Autumn make it because we had that with like all of our little munchies and veggies and fruit, and I had Autumn make one little box because that's all I had. And when she divvied it up among everybody, I'm like, wow, that's like a whole lot of macaroni and cheese. I'm like, it has multiplied in that bowl. So we had an easy dinner, and then we just relaxed. It's like I worked for a little bit, and then I just sat down with each of the kids and gave my full attention as a mom. Do you ever just get busy where you don't feel like you take the time? I get it, because life is busy. I know I'm busy working, I'm busy schooling, I'm busy taking care of the house, I'm busy being a wife, I'm busy, you know, running all the back end things I gotta do, all the emails and the messages and the bills and everything else. And sometimes when kids wanna talk about things that they wanna talk about, sometimes it's easy just to stand and listen and and not really listen. Guilty of that. And so I just really want to focus this year on being intentional always, or as much as I possibly can. And so I just sat down, pulled up a chair and sat down next to each kid yesterday and just got to like sit and like go through like what they got for Christmas and talk about the stuff they got. And they showed me all, I mean, I know what they got, but it was nice from their aspect. You know, I found out all my girls have like snack drawers. I'm like, whoa, if we ever run out of food, I know I'm going downstairs to find the delicious snacks. And so just good to like, just open that opportunity to talk and to share. It's so important. Parents, if you're not that I'm dealing with anything with my kids, but if you want to know how to get your kids to talk to you, it's not always like, are you doing okay? Are you doing okay? You can talk to me anytime. That's going to get them to close right up. Trust me, that's going to get them to close right up. Because I know for myself, it does the same thing. People like ask you, are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm fine. But guess what? Being intentional, letting them know that you are there, just like, you know, just taking them out and just not talking anything about troubles of the world, not talking about how they're feeling, just having fun, just talking, letting them talk, letting them share. And that always leads to opening the door for discussion. Not always that time. It's going to take time, just like if you have a good friend or your husband and you, right? Like if you're constantly fighting and if you're constantly that and they're like, oh, I want to listen, I want to hear you talking, you don't want to. But the more that you see that they are real and intentional and they're there for you and they want to listen, that makes you feel more comfortable to be able to open up and share. Same thing with your kids. And so if you're dealing with your kids and not knowing, maybe your spouse even, you know, or family members, don't like open up with, you know, getting to the root of the problem. Open up with being available. Open up with being available to talk and to share so they feel comfortable coming to you. That is so key. And I know I've faltered on that a whole lot in my motherhood because I was busy. I mean, I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just saying I realized, hey, you know, taking care of 10 kids was a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But like getting into that and not being available because you're so busy doing the daily task. And so, you know, I sat with each one. sat with each one, let them tell me all their fun things they got and explain all their stuff, and just, it was very nice. And so just a good ending to my night, and then got great sleep again last night. Woke up, I didn't wake up super early because I don't have to get up super early because I don't have to do a whole lot today, which is a good thing. We have no school this week. I don't have to clean. I just have to make food. So I'm like, this is just a nice morning. So I thought, let me think about some food for today. So that's what I'm gonna film, is what we're gonna eat today. And it's kind of using up a lot of our leftover things. Like I have a whole bag of broccoli. I'm like, what can I make with that fresh broccoli? We've got some crescent rolls. So I've got some ideas I'll share with you. That's what we're gonna do today. It's kind of a Gather Your Fragment Tuesday, but it's just for one day. It's just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Probably a snack thrown in there. The snacks, I got cookies to use up, but we'll probably gather those up. Allow them to have one of those along with some other fresh fruit and veggies. So you guys get ready for your day? All right, this is gonna be some meal inspiration, something different. I'm gonna try to make a few things that I don't normally make, and we're just gonna do good. You guys ready? All right, let's get going with our day. All right, let's go. All right, first meal of your day is breakfast. What are we gonna make for breakfast? I don't know, you can have everything you want. Something that's super easy is like egg cups. You could probably like egg quiche without the crust, but I make egg cups. And I also have a pineapple. We never cut this up for Christmas, so I'm gonna cut this up. We have lots of oranges, so we're gonna cut some oranges up for some fruit. I've got some bread out so we can make toast. I'm gonna make egg cups in silicone liners. I'll make a few extras, so we'll have some for the week. But I have a little bit of ham. I'm gonna chop this up. I have some provolone cheese. I have peppers and onions. I'm gonna keep these separate. We have hamburgers. There's 4 in here. Nobody's eating them. That's okay, there's meat. So what I'm gonna do is chop up the meat, chop up the ham really tiny, and sprinkle those in. I'm gonna mix up eggs first. Eggs and some water, I think. Eggs and water, and then put them in the egg cups. And then I'm gonna sprinkle in some of the meat and cheese and some of the veggies and some. That way you can customize however you like. I love the fresh salsa. This one I forgot. I love this in my salsa, in my salsa, I like this in my eggs. So I will make some like that. I'll probably color code some for Jane because she doesn't do cheese. Egg cups, super simple. They last in your refrigerator for a long time. You can have them all week. So I'm gonna whip up some eggs and do that. The kids can put it on a sandwich. They can have it on a bagel. They can have it on toast. They can eat it plain. It's just an easy way to gather up your fragments. So let's crack some eggs first, and then we'll put those in the little cup holders, and then we will do the veggies, okay? Let's do that. It's kind of funny when I say I'm not gonna do that many eggs, and 20 eggs is a lot for majority of the people of the world. So, but this is downsizing from what we normally would do, so I feel like it's a lot. Alright, so if you wonder how many eggs to actually do, I ended up doing 31 of these little cups. They're not all the way full. Some are a little bit fuller than others because it's not perfect, but like this gave me 31 and I had 20 eggs. So kind of adjust, think at least, you know, like 1 egg. I always think 1 egg per cup, but it is gonna fluff up some. So kind of, you know, just plan for a few extra. All right, let's chop up some meat now. I can see why nobody picked the hamburgers, because the bun is kind of squishy and sticking to it. So I'm just kind of scrape that up, but I'm gonna chop this real tiny for the mixture. All right, I have a little change of plans. I'm thinking that I'm just gonna do the egg cups as are, just with the eggs. Because some might not like me, some might not like the onion mixture. So I think I'm gonna cook this with some onion, because they will eat onions chopped up, over here in my skillet, and I'll just cook this, and then they can put that with it. I also found a pack of hollandaise sauce mix, so we can put that on there too. So a little change of plans, but you can put it all in one. Let me get it here. Let me put this in the oven. And that'll take about 15-20 minutes, but that way they're plain. Then I won't have any like, ew, it's so gross. And then I did find a little onion in the refrigerator, so I'm gonna chop this up here, and I'm gonna fry it over here on the stove in my cast iron skillet. I think that's going to be the best thing to do. And then that way, if I want to put fresh salsa on mine, I'll just have that separate. That's going to work. And if you want cheese, they can put cheese on it too. So we're just going to do something a little different. gonna bring my onions, put them in here, let these fry up a little bit. I put grapeseed oil in here. I'll put some salt and pepper too. All right, let's just fry this up. Now to that mixture, you can add some chopped up potatoes. My family does not like potatoes. I know. Very strange, but they do not like them. So I'm going to save this little provolone cheese. It's just something they don't like. Every time I make them, nobody eats them. I'll probably make them again and they'll be like, oh, these are the greatest things ever. So let me put this in the refrigerator. So we're doing good. I filled my sink up. Always clean as you go. Otherwise, at the end, you're going to have 10,000 dishes. Stress, stress, stress. We don't want that. So this is just going to fry. The eggs are going to cook. That's going to be the main part. I'm going to make some of this hollandaise sauce. I'm sure you can make it from scratch. I'm just going to mix up. It's 1 cup of milk and 1/4 cup of butter. So what I'm going to do, put it in your microwave. It makes life so much better to have it all in the microwave with less mess. So just put it together in that measuring cup here. And then you're going to whisk it together. Put it in the microwave. Check it like maybe like the first minute, let it cook, and then stir it. And it'll get thick in there without the big giant saucepan mess. Since it's not going to mix just yet, just put it in your microwave. We also have a little bit of bacon bits. So I'm going to put those in there. Just a look. That'll be good. Delicious. I haven't used bacon bits in a bag in a long time, and then we put them in our cheese ball, and I was like, ooh, it's like fatty. So I've just been using my real bacon, and I just chop it up really tiny. I'm like, oh, I don't like that part of it. But this reminds me of hash. Does anybody else have, is it called hash, like corn? It's not called corned hash, is it? It's in a can. Do you remember that? Like, I would go camping with my aunt, and we would have corned, I think it was corn hash, and it was in a can. It was meat chopped up super fine with really small potatoes. I know, it probably is disgusting if I opened it up now and saw it, but it was good. She would fry it and it kind of get crispy. Greg and I had it in the first part of our marriage. We'd get a can of it too. That was some, I think it's called corned hash. Maybe it's hash, I don't know, but it reminds me of that, just a bigger version here. But a little bit probably healthier, not so chopped up for you. The meat is cooking, the stuff, I'm checking it like every minute. Let me chop up some fruit to have with our meal. All right, breakfast is done. Easy and delicious. It's an easy breakfast, delicious. Everything's separate, making everybody happy. No cheese, no dairy, except this little thing probably has dairy in it, but that's okay, that sauce. Delicious. Okay, breakfast is done, kitchen's cleaned up. Kids are gonna eat, it's gonna be a great day. All right, lunchtime is gonna be upon us and the kids are gonna be hungry. So the next dish I'm gonna make, it's from, I don't even know how to say it. It's some Italian dish. I got it from Lisa the Cake Boss, you know, Buddy and Lisa. She does, I think it's Cake House is her channel. I'm gonna make mine obviously a little bit more tailored to how we would do it, but you basically fry up some onions, which I have onion, and broccoli. I'm just gonna fry it just a little bit with some olive oil, salt and pepper and garlic, and just cook that. I'm gonna cook a pot of noodles. She did the little, they almost look like a seashell, but they're like half of the shell. I don't have that, so I'm gonna be, you know, just gonna gather up and be, you know, creative in choosing my noodles. And then you just put that all together and it tastes delicious. It's really simple to make. We have all this broccoli. I will not use all this broccoli. The leftover broccoli I will put in the freezer, just in the container. I won't be, if you want to eat it like frozen and then eat it raw, or not eat it raw, eat it frozen like as a side dish, I'd be blanching it first and do that. But I'm just gonna put it in the freezer because when I cook my meat, when I do like a once a month freezer meals, I like to cook all my meat with veggies. This will be something I can add to it and I'll just puree it, so I don't really care what the texture is. I did that with a bunch of mushrooms. They're in there waiting to be pureed in the mixture. So this will go in there as well, but I'll chop some up, we'll cook it, and then usually you add Parmesan cheese. I'm not gonna add that so that Jaden can have it. If when they go to eat it, they can add that mixture. So let's chop up an onion, get it frying over here, and they're sauteing with some salt and pepper and olive oil and garlic and the broccoli, and then hopefully the noodles will be ready. Mix it up, super easy, kids love it, very tasty. All right, decided to use that whole bag of broccoli because I'll make it mostly the broccoli with just a little bit of the pasta. This is super simple to make, and this is delicious. And so when you serve it, put a little Parmesan cheese on it. If you want to let it sit for a little bit, it should be okay because it's got the oil in it, so that will help it not, you know, stick together. If you put the cheese in it, it kind of all sticks together. So you just serve it up and eat it. Delicious, easy, healthier lunch. This is delicious, easy lunch, very tasty. If you want to melt that Parmesan, just kind of stir it in there. It tastes so good. All right, the next thing I need to do is make a dinner because we're going to have to eat dinner as well. Unfortunately, people eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in this household. So I was kind of looking through, and I have some freezer meals still, but you know, I always make freezer meals, but I kind of want to use something up that I have in my refrigerator. So I have crescent rolls and I have meatballs. I have a lot of meatballs. I made a lot of those Salisbury steak bags, and they were good the first few times, but after you have them for a while, the kids are like, eh. So this next freezer meal thing that I do, probably not January, February, probably end of January, I'll definitely have more of a variety because I find that they're getting tired of the same ones, which is okay. We go in spurts, which is, I mean, I'm sure everybody does. So I'm taking the meatballs out of my freezer meal that I put them in there, and all I did was rinse off it because it had some Salisbury steak stuff. I just rinsed off that stuff. And then the meatballs are, for this recipe I'm gonna make, it's gonna be a cheeseburger. It's like a Big Mac. Do you guys know Big Mac from McDonald's? Cheeseburger, meatball, I guess appetizer. I was like thinking about it, I'm like, what can I make? So I looked in my freezer, I'm like, meatballs, what can I make with meatballs? That would be kind of neat. I thought bread dough. And so I thought I'll use crescent rolls. So I'm basically just gonna take my meatballs, chop them in half, and then roll them out in crescent rolls, like crescent roll dough, roll it up. Doesn't have to be completely covered. You can put cheese on this too. I'm not going to, so that everybody can have it. And then I'll make a mixture that's like a Big Mac dipping sauce. And then we'll have the meatballs dipped in that tonight. And that'll be delicious with the veggies because we have carrots and celery and all that stuff. And the meatballs dip. That'll be an easy, delicious appetizer meal for the day. So let's roll out our crescent roll dough. Take these meatballs and chop them in half because you're supposed to use small meatballs, but since I have these big giant ones and they're so good, I'm just gonna chop them in half and use them. If you're worried about it sticking to your surface, spray it with some nonstick cooking spray. All right, then you want to put like an egg wash on top of your thing. It looks like this. I just smushed together. You can do it in a circle and then have like a little bowl of the dipping sauce in the middle, whatever you want to have fancy. I'm gonna have a few extra meatballs here. There was like 2, 4, 6 extra in the bag, so I'll just throw those in the oven. Maybe somebody will eat them. So I'm gonna take an egg, crack it, there's my oven, in the measuring cup, add a little bit of water, whip this together, brush on top of the balls here, and then sprinkle everything bagel seasoning because this makes everything taste better. Oh yeah. Ooh, does that not look delicious? Oh, smells so good. These are really great. My mom got me these. I always burn my hand in my oven, kind of up here too. So they go in there. They're silicone rack liners. I don't even know where she got them, but it says it's good up to 475 degrees, so we'll see. But we'll see how much I burn my arm, but that looks so delicious. I've got my special sauce. This is the McDonald's one, so we can use this one. I also have like the Chick-fil-A sauce the kids might prefer, but we'll see. These will be delicious and easy dinner. All right, these came out. Look at how delicious they smell. So good. Let's put them on a plate and see what they look like. All right, this is what they look like when you eat it. Delicious. It's just like having a Big Mac to eat. All right, that's delicious. Tastes just like a Big Mac. So those are something great you can put out for, you know, even the holidays. Just put it in a circle on a pan when you bake it, and then you can have like a nice rounded thing and you put your sauce in the middle. So delicious meals all done for the day. All right, so that is gonna be it for what we're gonna make for meals today. So this is a good thing. It's beautiful. See outside? I'm outside after Christmas. That to me means good day at the park day. So that's what we are going to spend our day doing. I have a little bit of paperwork to do, some different things that I want to kind of get ready for myself, like some goals and things I'll share with you for the coming year, just different things I want to do personally for my own self. So I hope you enjoyed today's video of the different meals. Maybe that's something you can make in your home. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Kids all came up, they're like, ooh, fancy, Mom. I'm like, I know, it's good to have a little variety of things sometimes. And you know, you think sometimes you make, I mean, you don't have to make anything like this, but sometimes you make foods and maybe it is just kind of plain. Maybe it's like the eggs. Instead of just making scrambled eggs that you have every single day and your kids get tired of them, spruce them up, put them on an egg cup, and then put them on a little fancy platter and put them out. Put the meats on the side like that. Put that up. Cut the fruit all up. The kids are like, wow, we feel like we're at a fancy hotel. And so doing little things like that does help. It helps bring the food thing, you know, to make it more appealing for kids especially. And then I told them, I said they have to have some fruit, have to have some meat, and have to have some of the egg. I said just get a small egg if you don't want a big egg. So that works. That's a good thing to do. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. For those of you that want to stay, remember we're reading the book of Psalms. I'm doing one a day. And I think it's going to be such a good thing to help improve our outlook on life. So for those of you that don't want to watch that part, you guys can go. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. For the rest of you want to stay, I'm going to read. So I've got my Bible here. We're going to read from the Amplified version because I think that's just a better thing to read from for this thing, just to get some encouragement for your day. So this is Psalm 2. It's the reign of the Lord's appointed. Why are the nations in an uproar, in turmoil against God? And why do the people devise a vain and hopeless plot? Do you feel like that's our world right now? Do you feel like everybody's coming up with an idea or a plan of what they think life should be? Or counting on people higher up to fulfill the perfect plan for our lives? Oh, don't do that. Verse 2, the kings of the earth take their stand, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and his anointed, the Davidic king, the Messiah, the Christ, saying, let us break apart their divine bands of restraint and cast away their cords of control from us. So what does the kings of the and rulers of the earth do? Taking us apart from the divine bands of restraint from the Lord. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't think that things of this world are going to break you because of what a government or the House of Representatives or the Supreme Court decides. Don't think that. Just know that God can be is so much greater than that. But you got to put your trust and your hope in him completely, 100%. Because right now it's so easy to get wrapped up in that. Oh, it is. Verse 4, he who sits enthroned in the heavens laughs at the rebellion. I think God laughs. I'm sure he does. Thinking, these foolish people, what are they doing? The sovereign Lord scoffs at them, and in supreme contempt he mocks them. Then he will speak to them in his profound anger and terrify them with his displeasure, saying, yet as for me, I have anointed and firmly installed my king upon Zion, my holy mountain. I will declare the decree of the Lord. He said to me, you are my son. This day I proclaim, I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will assuredly give you the nations as your inheritance, and the ends of the earth as your possession. I like the ask of me, and I assuredly will give. It talks in the Bible about seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open. You got to do those things. Faith is a faith of action. It's not just given to you. If God was just going to hand out everything to you, there would be no reason to pray. right? There's a lot of people, a lot of Christians that will just sit back and say, well, whatever God wants, God will do. You know, because God is in control. No, he's not. God's not in control. Because look what you had for breakfast. Did God choose that? Does God control this earth? Oh, no, he does not. Man controls this earth. So don't sit there. Don't think that you should just sit back and let God do the work. You have to do the work. Faith, our relationship with the Lord is an action, right? Just like your relationship with your husband or your children. You can't just sit back and let things happen. You have to actually do things to make things work. So ask of me. There's more of that. Read that later. And the ends of the earth as your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall shatter them in pieces like earthenware. Now therefore, O kings, act wisely. So he's telling the kings, act wisely because judgment's upon you. You know, God says too much is given, much is expected. You know, the kings of this earth, the rulers of the earth, the people that are in power, they are going to have to go to God and be accountable to him for what they choose to do for all of us. Just remember that. Now therefore, O kings, act wisely, be instructed and take warning. O leaders, judges, rulers of the earth, worship the Lord and not just worship, and serve him with reverence, with awe-inspired fear, and submission, wonder. Rejoice, yet do so with trembling. Kiss, or pay respect to, the Son, so that he does not become angry, and you perish in the way. For his wrath may soon be kindled and set aflame. How blessed, fortunate, prosperous, and favored by God are all those who take refuge in him. That's the person you want to be. You want to be the blessed one, right? You want to be fortunate, prosperous, and favored by God because we're taking refuge in him. Oh, great thing to read. I think there's going to be a great thing to read at the end of our day, every single day. Go copy that verse down, look at it throughout the day, or I'll put the screenshot at the end. Just screenshot on your phone and then roll over that throughout the day and be reminded of God's promises for your life. So, all right, this mom is going to go. I hope you enjoyed today's video of what we're going to eat in a day, of gathering up fragments, making do with what we have. So you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we're going to see you again tomorrow. All right, we'll see ya. Bye.